It's weekdays on the Coast Best Mix, 7AD, 7BU. There goes Black Box and Fantasy. That time every Thursday around 20 past 11. It's a peek inside with Craig Heppel from Olverson Real Estate. Craig, how are you?
Good morning, Andrew. How are you?
Not bad yourself?
Guess what we're talking about?
Tell me.
It's a sign.
No. Okay, tell me about this sign.
Signs, and more bloody signs. You know, when there's an election coming up, when the sign's pleading with us to elect Billy Bloggs or Mary Smith outnumber the agent signs about 20 to 1.
Tell me about it.
Oh, but let's talk about real estate signs. Now, the question is, will a for sale sign the size of a shipping container bring more potential buyers to your property?
I'd be looking for the house.
That's what we're after, as a house.
Yes.
But anyway, 20 years ago and beyond, the answer probably would have been a fairly confident yes. But today and going forward, it would have to be a carefully considered unlikely. Now, why is that? Now, 20 years ago and going back, property buyers had three main and time-consuming avenues available to them in their search for a property. Number one, phone or walk up and down the main drag into the local agencies and ask, what have you got for $500,000 with 3 beds and a shed? Or number two, check out the local papers, which did not have all the stock for sale because papers were charging like wounded bulls to display your home in print. And then you would contact the agent or attend an open home if there was one. And three, you'd drive around and look for signs, then contact the agent representing the sale of property that looked okay from the outside. So back then, if you had to ask me, is a big sign out the front of my place going to help attract buyers and represent a good advertising investment, I would have said yes. And a good proportion of buyers will drive around an area that attracts them and look for signs. So these times have changed. Then that little thing we know as the internet straight into town along with the fanfare of the 21st century. The rules of engagement in every industry or market where buyers and sellers gathered changed dramatically, and real estate was no different. It was a big one. So let's fast forward to 2024. Property buyers don't even have to pick up a paper, walk into an agency or take a drive around anymore. They can sit on the bus in their office, on a park bench, watching the telly, lying in bed and find any home or property for sale anywhere with a few clicks or a swipe.
Nice and easy, isn't it?
It's easy,
oh,
exactly.
Fantastic, isn't it? Yeah, internet,
So-
gotta love it.
Now, 90 to 95% of all buyer searches are carried out online. Buyers identify the property or properties that interest them, and if they're pretty serious about a move or a purchase, then they will call, text or email the company or individual agent representing the property or rock up to an open home. Remember, buyers follow property, not agents. So with this in mind, what use is a sign or a billboard at the front of a home being sold that's the size of a Sherman tank, or as I called a shipping container? And more interestingly, half of the sign is taken up with a jumbo-sized photo of the representing agent at an angle where the photographer must have been gaffer-taped horizontally to a suspended beam, or the agent was dangled by his or her ankles on a wire.
I've seen those, especially on some other ones. I
love
won't say
them.
their name, but yes.
So my favourite is the monster sign that have a chapter of War and Peace written all over them, and they expected every motorist to read that sign while zooming past at 50, 60 or even 80 kilometres an hour. I can't help but laugh every time I see one, but then feel sorry for the owner that's shelled out for it.
These are not cheap, are they?
They're not cheap, the big signs.
So what are you talking about? How much are we talking
some of
about?
those big ones can be 500 plus, even more.
Wow.
Yeah, the big ones with, a big photo, great, but oodles of content, no one's going to stop and read
We're
it.
going to have an accident, aren't you?
Well, if you try,
Yes, yeah.
So don't get me wrong, a for sale sign should be considered as an identification tool. Much like if you're looking for a hamburger, you're looking for the Golden Arches, or you're looking for the KFC sign or whatever it is. It just says, here is the property that you're looking for or might have seen online. So passers and drivers by just need to know that your property is for sale. Serious buyers will have identified it, perused it on the internet, maybe even done a drive-by and seen that the sign says, yep, this is the one you saw online, we are for sale. So agents who push for big self-serving signs may not have your best interests at heart and are utilising your funds to promote themselves and their brand, as you alluded to. So always remember, the property websites that have the massive buyer pulling power, that's realestate.com, Domain, etc., they're your 24/7, 365 days a week for sale signs, chock full of photos and information designed to attract buyers to your property. So here are the three main ingredients for a useful for sale sign.
Right.
Number one, the words for sale need to dominate the sign. Number two, who to contact, that's the agent and brand, plus an easy-to-read phone number or phone numbers. And number three, if possible, a 3 to 5 word description of the property based on what the most attractive features are. For example, 4-bed shed, 1,000 square metres, or 10 acres, 5-bed home, or sea views, 3 beds, man cave, that sort of thing. Just bang, bang, bang. So any sign really has about 1 to 3 seconds to give all the information to a potential buyer. So don't waste the opportunity to get their attention and get them to act.
Wow. That comes to what? Home of the week.
Home of the week.
Yep.
Where 2 words, stunning and historic.
Tell us about it.
Rose Villa, number 32 Wright Street, East Devonport. Built around 1891 and set on a fantastic and fully fenced 1,691 square metre block. That's over a third of an acre. This gorgeous 4-bedroom home has all the original charm you'll love, and along with the modern finishes that you really need. So get along. 12 midday this Saturday, the 16th of March. Come and take a look at Rose Villa and be blown away. So if you want to know more about this or any other property, or want to ask me anything about the market or real estate in general, drop me an email, craig@ulverstonrealestate.com, or call me 0400 180 515.
Craig, it's been a pleasure.
As always, Andrew.
Not the sign, but it is a pleasure.
Thank you.
Anyway, mate, talk to you next Thursday at 11:20.
Look forward to it.
Okay, Craig Heppel there from the Ulverston Real Estate. Of course, we do take a peek inside. Happens every Thursday at 11:20 right here on 7AD, 7BU. Coming up, Toto and the Monkeys.